Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. I'm Kelly Raspberry Evans, and this is my husband, Alan Evans.
Hello, I'm Alan. A-Train in the house.
Trying something new.
Yeah, it just kept getting like to a higher level and a higher level and a higher level till
Where
pretty
else
much.
can you go?
Yeah, I'm coming on here and screaming at the audience as I come on. So
We're just starting over.
I thought I'd just take it down a notch.
Start over from ground zero with your intro.
Well, yes. I don't know that it's ground zero when you introduce yourself with two nicknames, but I'm just going to dial it back a little bit.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're here, dialed up, dialed in, dialed down, however you're here.
Yes.
And we're thankful you're all joining us again for another episode of our podcast. Alan and I decided we're going to answer some letters tonight, some emails from the podcast family. They have really been piling up. And so we're going to take care of some listener mail today. I think that's a good thing to do.
It's called Mailbag Night.
Mailbag Night.
Is that what we're naming it?
Even though it's emails, but you know.
We're going to get our big bag out.
Yeah.
Our big sack.
I like doing that because, you know, it kind of lets us know what you want us to talk about, what strikes a chord with you. And it could help us with, you know, future podcast topics. I had somebody today on Twitter. I haven't had time to go into it, but right before we came on to record this podcast, they tweeted me a link to a really great article about code words that cheaters are using to get away with cheating.
What now?
I think that's really interesting. Code words to get away with cheating.
Are we gonna talk about that?
Not tonight. I just said it happened right before we came on the podcast, but I was really appreciative of that. I was like, that's really cool that somebody wants to be engaged and help us come up with podcast content. We can either take that as a compliment or, hey, you obviously need help coming up with content. It could be taken one of two ways.
We've always encouraged the audience to give us ideas for content.
We love
This
it.
isn't our podcast. It's their podcast.
We do it for you. That's what we're doing it for.
I mean, don't gyp the listener. They're the customers.
Yes.
And the customer's always right.
We want you to be 100% satisfied.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Sometimes we're going to fall short, but tonight we hope we come through because we're really leaving it up to you. It's on your shoulders tonight with your interesting emails.
It's on your broad, brawny shoulders. So me and the Gilligan here, I'm the skipper, are going to go through some of these letters in
I want to be Ginger.
In our sack. You can
I
be Ginger.
Be Ginger tonight.
You can be Ginger. Can I be the professor?
Sure. He was very asexual, wouldn't you say?
Whoa. He wasn't asexual.
He wasn't. There was nothing. He wasn't interested at all in Ginger or Marianne, and they threw themselves at him. Well, didn't they? I'm trying to remember.
So this son of a gun's on a desert island with Ginger and Marianne, and you're trying to tell me that he wasn't interested?
No, he was asexual. I thought he was more interested in, you know, science and, you know, trying to figure out how to get them off that island.
So he was like he
just wasn't interested. He was asexual.
I know, but what's that mythical?
A eunuch?
Eunuch. Yeah, a eunuch. So he was like a eunuch?
I didn't say that necessarily.
What is a eunuch?
I think a eunuch doesn't have any sexual organs or parts, right?
I don't know. I've just heard the word.
I think that's what that means.
Really?
If I'm wrong, I was put on the spot, so I'm not trying to be an authority on what eunuchs are, but I think that's right.
A eunuch.
I don't have time to Google it, and I don't want to ask Siri.
Well, our studio audience, which is here in our studio, in our live studio audience, they're
on YouTube, where we record this.
They're always very helpful. And
what are they saying?
One of our live studio audience's members said that a eunuch has no balls.
So is a eunuch just a castrated man, or does he have a penis? Does a eunuch have a? Then how would he go to the bathroom?
What did you just say?
I thought a eunuch had no sexual organs. It's just a eunuch is just like a castrated man. Is that right?
Well, I don't really know.
Really know.
I'm sorry I brought it up. I don't even really know.
I haven't studied it.
Is it from Greek mythology? Why don't we ask Siri?
I don't have my phone with me.
Let's ask Siri. Here, hold on. Let's ask Siri.
All right.
Watch how this works.
This is real time.
Which one?
Siri? Hey, Siri.
I'm listening.
What is a eunuch?
Here's what I found.
And I get web results.
I know. I hate that. I just wanted to tell me the answer.
Okay, here you go. The term eunuch generally refers to a man who had been castrated to serve a specific social function.
What's the function?
The earliest records for intentional castration to produce eunuchs are from the Sumerian city of Lagash in the 21st century BC. Over the millennia since, they have performed a wide variety of functions in many different cultures. Courtiers, or equivalent domestics, treble singers,
because it makes their voices go up?
religious specialists, soldiers, royal guards, government officials.
I guess because it takes away their desire to have sex, they could focus on other things.
Guardians of women.
Yeah, because...
Or harem servants.
Interesting. So it's just, they do have penises, they just don't have balls. They can't have that, which takes away their sexual urges.
Well, that is unclear from what I'm reading.
That's what I'm reading.
Right
That's
now.
what I'm gathering.
But there is a lot more about eunuchs if you're interested.
You can Google that or ask Siri.
Wow.
There you go. That's all we need to know about that topic.
Oh, here you go. Okay, just real quick.
There's more.
Eunuchs would usually be servants or slaves who had been castrated to make them reliable servants of a royal court where physical access to the ruler could wield great influence. Seemingly lowly domestic functions, such as making the ruler's bed, bathing him, cutting his hair, carrying him in his litter, or even relaying messages could in theory give a eunuch the ruler's ear.
So he's a confidant.
Yeah,
it's like
he
your
was.
hairdresser.
He
everything
was.
To your hairdresser.
He was totally a confidant.
There you go.
All right, this is all making me very uncomfortable.
That was very long. I just needed the basics, but I got like a whole education on that.
That was a lot longer than the eunuch.
You know what? You never know what you're going to get when you tune into A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. Wow. And neither do our sponsors. What a lucky night for them to be sponsoring the podcast.
Well, I tell you what you're not going to find
what
on this sponsor site.
What?
An ad for a eunuch.
Well, you never know. You never know. I hesitate to do this now, but I'm just going to plow ahead. I'm just going to plow ahead.
Yeah, just fight through it.
I do know how hard it is. We were just talking, somebody today was recommended that we need to start looking at hiring people to help us with various tasks. But, I remember when my parents owned their own business, my father always owned a lot of businesses, one of them being Go West, a Western wear business, and he would need to hire people. And I just remember just all these bunch of yahoos would come in that, had no retail experience, didn't have a passion for cowboy attire that we were looking for, or people who maybe, just didn't have the qualifications we were looking for. And then we still had to sift through all of that. It was a very time-consuming process. Hiring is challenging, but there's one place you can go where hiring is simple, hiring is fast, hiring is smart.
ZipRecruiter.
That's right. Cafe Altura's COO, Dylan Miskowitz, he experienced how challenging hiring could be after unsuccessfully searching for a director of coffee for his organic coffee company, but then he switched to ZipRecruiter and saw an immediate difference. And you can too by signing up for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sandwich. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you, and its technology identifies people with the right experience and then invites them to apply for your job so you get qualified candidates faster. In fact, after posting his job to ZipRecruiter, Dylan said he was just amazed by how quickly the great candidates just started applying left and right and found his new director of coffee in just a few days. And with results like that, it's no wonder 4 out of 5 employers who do post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
And see why ZipRecruiter is effective for businesses of all size. You can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sandwich. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sandwich. That's SANDWICH. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Thank you, ZipRecruiter. And now, let's get to our mailbag.
Let's go through the bag.
You want to start or you want me to start?
I'll start.
Okay, baby.
Okay, here's one, and these might be some we can have further discussion. Some may be we just read them and move on.
Okay.
Okay, first
I'll
one.
be the judge of that.
This one's from Debbie. Debbie says, Alan, and a lot of these are based on things we've talked about in the last, I'd say, 10 podcasts. Okay. Alan.
That's a lot.
If you are seriously questioning why the seat should go down, go to YouTube and search flushing toilets. Wait till you see all the spray that flies all over your bathroom. That's why there is a lid to protect your toothbrush from pee and poop spraying all over it. LOL. Seriously, take a look. Think you'll be a seat down man afterward. Love the podcast. Y'all crack me up. Listeners since day one.
Thank you.
Well, we have a seat and we have a lid.
Well, I like that idea. Somebody addressed this. Either I'm having a deja vu moment, but yeah, it makes sense. Why don't we just from now on put the entire seat down, the lid and everything, and then there won't be a debate. We don't usually have that debate.
No,
Alan's
we don't.
Pretty good about leaving the seat part down. Every once in a while, he leaves it up. But overall,
I mean, I'm a 48-year-old man. I've been whipped into submission my whole life. Of course, you never go in there and it's up.
But I do like the idea. But we have what they call a water closet. So, the toilet is removed from, close to
otherwise known as a shotgun shitter.
I've never heard it called that. But if you wanted to say that, that's fine. All right, I got another letter.
Okay.
My turn?
Yes.
Dear Kelly, this is to me. I am 58. I had a partial hysterectomy back in 2000 and started experiencing hot flashes and night sweats about 5 to 7 years ago. Can't remember how long it's been.
Mm-hmm.
Since I no longer have that anymore, and we know what that is, I wasn't sure what to expect and when to expect it either. Just like you see, I've been having these rushes of heat that come on at random times. And it usually starts in my chest and goes up to my face, and then it passes fairly quickly. And it happens at night a lot too, where I kick off the covers. She's having the same thing. She said the hot flashes, you get that rush of heat through your chest area. Some people do get it up to their head. And I would have to find something to fan myself with immediately. Then the night sweats. I wasn't sure what was worse. I go to bed, pull up the covers. Within an hour or so, I'd be kicking them all off. I do this all night. It was worse in the mornings. And then she was experiencing them with her husband during sexy time too. Well, as far as not remembering things, like I've said, I've started having some serious memory issues. She said that came along with it too. It got so bad her boss started saying things about her not remembering things. Then she says, I started noticing it for myself, but as time progressed, I think it's gotten better once I got on the meds.
What are the meds?
She said, I started off taking over-the-counter meds that a friend recommended from a drugstore, Estroven or Walmart's brand, because they have their generic brands. And she said that helped some, but after a couple of years it seemed to get worse. Since I hadn't been to an OBGYN since my daughter was born, for the birth, she said she went for her annual exams, but just not for that. She said, I finally broke down, went to one a friend recommended who prescribed a very low dose of estradiol. How do you say that? Estradiol. I need to talk to my OBGYN. I don't know what that is. Estradiol.
Estradiol or estradiol?
Estradiol. Anyway, she said like a milligram, I think, and that has helped tremendously. I would definitely recommend getting on that. And she said, good luck. P.S. So happy you and Alan found each other. I actually love watching the podcast on YouTube and more than hearing it. I just love seeing you guys interact and love Alan's buffoonery. Yeah, I love it too sometimes.
Thank you.
More than others.
Thank you.
I'll keep watching, listening when I can. Keep up the fun, boogaloo. And that's from Denise. Thank you, Denise. I'll ask my doctor about that. It's almost time for my annual that doctor exam. I usually try to schedule it around my birthday in April. So I will ask because my memory is not good. My daughter swears to me.
So are you going to ask about that?
Ask about what? The estradiol?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said I would.
Oh, okay.
Didn't you hear me just say that?
No. Maybe I need some estradiol.
I literally just said I was going to ask about that.
I did?
In my exam,
Or
which
you
I
did?
usually schedule around my birthday.
I'm very confused.
Maybe you just need to take a pay attention to your wife pill.
Whoa.
That's what you need.
Whoa.
But yeah.
Why'd you say that with such anger?
Because I just said it and you didn't
Why'd
hear
you
a
say
word
that
I
with such
said. It was
anger?
not anger. And don't you blame it on that time of the month because I don't get it anymore.
But anyway.
You
Have
know
I
how men
ever
are.
said
You know
anything
how
like
men
that?
are.
Have I ever said anything like that?
No, you haven't.
Thank you.
But my daughter swears that I had a conversation with her, and I swear to her I didn't. But here's the thing. I have nothing to back it up with because I can't remember anything. But I swear, she says I said something. What was it? I can't even remember. She swears I said something. I said, Emma Kelly, I would not say that. And she swears I did. I need to get on that estradiol if I can remember it.
Okay.
I'll have to hang on to this letter and take it with me to
That's
the
a good
doctor.
letter. All right, got a lot of letters here. Here's another one. This one's long, but it has a lot of good detail in it. This
Oh
is
my
something
gosh.
we've
That
addressed
is a long
on
letter.
other podcasts. We talked about it on the last podcast.
It's long.
This one is subjected. Is that even a word? Swinger/open marriage 101.
Wow. Do we need all that detail?
Dear Kellie and Allen, you can call me Ann, and I will refer to my husband as Mike.
Ann and Mike. Okay.
Longtime listener, huge fan of the podcast. I've listened since day one. I will make this as PG as possible. I was first aware of swinging when I was in college, but never exposed myself to it. But I always had a curiosity. On the first date my husband and I had, we were very open about our past and sexuality.
First date.
Yeah, I admired him for telling me the reason behind his divorce and his secrets. About 2 years into our relationship, we watched an episode of Nip Tuck that had a swingers party on it. Okay. This kind of sparked an interest with me and my husband, and I found a club like this in Louisiana. It was a 2-hour drive, so we decided to try it out.
Do you Google that?
Probably.
Do you ask Siri?
We called the guy who ran the whole thing to find out more info. So here it is. Please remember, this has been our own experience. Okay?
I'm sure everybody has a different experience.
When you attend for the first time, you get a tour. They have a swimming pool, picnic tables, and pool chairs. In the pool, you can be nude or clothed. It's completely up to you. Inside, there was a stage to strip on with a pole and cages and a hot tub where clothing was optional as well.
I danced in a cage once at a nightclub. That's kind of like something they do. It was called, what was it called? It was some club in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It was named after like a pirate ship or something. I forget the name of that. But I remember getting up there one time with Sarah Beth Harrell.
So it sounds like
we were dancing in a cage at a club.
Sounds like you might be open to.
No.
Okay.
This was at the club named after a pirate ship. I can't remember the name.
There was a bar and refreshments that a cover charge paid for.
Well, it sounds like a normal club at this point, except for the getting naked in the pool part.
Well, let me read on. There were rooms with beds side by side.
That's just nasty.
With see-through curtains.
That's
judge.
Nasty.
Don't judge.
That's nasty. Do they change the sheets regularly?
There was a woman's only room.
They have eunuchs there to change the sheets?
There was a woman's only room and toys. And they're probably not talking about Tinker toys.
I know.
Big screen TVs to watch sports. Sounds like a fun place to me. There was a locker room to get dressed. You could also walk around in the nude as well, which I practically do in Mexico. Let me tell you that my husband and I are not models. We're average people. We're overweight. Nobody judges anybody at these things, which we loved. If a woman is approached and she says no, then you must move along and find someone else. No means no. You could attend for one night or spend the night all weekend and pay a little more for that. Okay? The first time we attended, it lit a spark. It gave us stuff to talk about and adults that we had a lot of stuff in common with. There are groups on Facebook and websites.
Oh, my.
Look up swingers lifestyle on Google and you will find all kinds of places and people.
I don't want that in my search history because when I'm murdered, because that's going to happen, it's just a matter of time if you listen to all these murdering podcasts. The first thing they do is they go to your laptop and they look up your search history. I'm not having that in my search history.
Okay, so she's kind of laid out what the club is like. Now, here's where she gets into, here's the deal. Fast forward to my husband and I getting married in September of 2017. He received a promotion that put him 4 hours away from me during the week. I have a mindset that for a long time, if you are apart for a long time, someone will cheat. Our rule was to tell each other before it happened and ask permission and to protect ourselves. We were both accepting of that. Eventually, we found a smaller group of people closer to us that would have monthly get-togethers. Honestly, for me, it was a way of getting out of the house and socializing with people. There were times that we went to the smaller party and just hung out with people, and we did no lewd things. My husband and I have now been together 4 years, married for 2. We have a 7-month-old baby. We love each other more than we ever did when we started this type of life. I have never seen special rings on people or pineapples on front porches.
Well, there was an article that said that's how y'all can tell.
Why does it have to be us and them? Why do you have to?
Because it is us and them. There are 2 types of people in this world. Swingers and people that don't swing.
There is a term unicorn, which is a woman that is open to trying anything.
Yeah.
If you choose to read this on this podcast, great. Done. If that's not.
Yeah, we can't get away from the swingers subject.
If not,
apparently.
that's okay. It's because it's so interesting. I totally understand. Thanks for talking about this subject, and I know judgment will not be placed on us for choosing this lifestyle. Not from me, Ann and Mike. Not from me.
I
from
do
me.
judge a
not
little.
from me.
I do a little bit. I do. I'm not going to lie and say I don't. I do. I think it's weird, but you know what? It works for y'all.
Right.
It would not work for me. I don't know. I need to know.
People may think it's a little weird that you make me dress up in a furry costume too, but
that's true.
I mean,
so
hey,
true.
that's what we like to do.
That's so true.
It's a little demeaning to me to get dressed up like a dog and walk around on my hands and feet.
Right. But that's, that's our bit.
It's what you make me do.
That's our bit. And you didn't even change your voice to say that. Because that's how true it is.
All right.
You know what? I'm happy that our listeners feel comfortable enough that they can share that with us. That's great.
I think it's wonderful.
I just really have a hard time. I would like to know how prevalent this is. This cannot be that prevalent. It can't be.
It's a lot more prevalent than you think.
But it can't be. I mean, I guess if you go seeking out something and then that's you're with all the time, you can kind of start to feel like everybody does it. When I was in college, I was hanging out with nothing but college kids. It's like everybody was in college, but that's not really true. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Babe,
there are just other social groups I could be a part of.
We're in a city of, how many people live in Dallas? 3.5 million, whatever, 4
Something
million,
like
5
that.
million.
I don't even know.
And we go out one night to a tequila bar, and we're in there with 10, 12 people, and 2 of them are swingers.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. I mean,
but I didn't know that because swingers don't come up to me. Apparently, they just come up to my husband.
Yes.
I think you're inviting
That's happened twice. That's not true.
I think you're inviting it. You are inviting it with the universe because you keep, why are these letters coming in?
I have a friendly face.
And I do not.
Exactly.
Fine.
I have a friendly face.
Fine.
I have a friendly face.
All right. I'm perfectly content not being invited. All right. Dear Kellie and Allen, just wanted to say what a great and good-looking couple you two make.
Well, that's very nice.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I've been a listener for some time now. I've even gotten the hubs on board. Thank you. We've used some of your relationship advice, such as ask, what do you want to be acknowledged for, and what do you want me to know? That was from we did, how to keep the communication open when you go on date nights.
Yeah.
Those were 2 of the questions you should ask. That's
Look at
great.
Her. Good listener.
She said it opened up dialogue for us that otherwise may have never been open. We struggle with open communication, talking freely about our feelings, but this has helped tremendously.
Wow.
So nice.
That's awesome.
Looking forward to someday joining the family vacation, getting into some buffoonery. We've had the pleasure of meeting Kellie at the studio recently while in town visiting the duties Oh, the fertility doctors, Kevin and Kathy Duty. Once again, we'll be traveling back in the coming weeks for our second embryo transfer. Yay. We have y'all to thank for that blessing, as well as we entered the Maybe Baby contest. Although we didn't win, we were blessed with being allowed to join a study group. Which paid for a stimulation transfer cycle. And as a result, we have 9 healthy embryos. We just know our baby will be on his way soon. Thank you so much for the many ways you've blessed us and enriched our lives. God bless you and keep you too. That's from Michaela. That's what I like to hear right there.
That's
letter. Awesome.
And she included a picture.
Michaela, yes. She came by our studio. I remember her sharing that story, and I happened to be wearing my sandwich and some loving hat that day to work.
And she ordered 2 hats.
Oh,
she's the one that ordered the hats.
That's so nice.
Michaela, they're on the way. I just packed them up tonight.
Michaela, girl, you go have that baby, and when you have that baby and you're ready to go out and have some buffoonery, because, if you're pregnant, if this is all happening right around now, you might be pregnant for this year's family vacation. So the next one, you can go out, get a little vacation, let the grandparents watch the baby, so you can come and, drink with us. It'll be fun. Thank you, Michaela, for sharing that.
If you're new to the podcast and you're not sure what Michaela's talking about with that podcast vacation, we'll give you some details before the podcast is over. But if you're curious now, you can go to kellyandallen.com/vacation, because we've released the details for the summer vacation that we're going to be going on.
Yeah, and you can already get some information if you'd like to just, find out more without committing at this point.
Okay.
We want you to commit, though, as soon as possible, because we're excited.
Here's another one. Kellie and Allen, I just wanted to take a minute and write in to tell you how much I appreciate y'all. It's very nice. My daughter started me listening to Kellie on air when we moved to Salina for a brief time 15 years ago. And I'm sure glad she did. I know I now listen every morning on iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio. Kellie, from the time Allen came into your life, you could tell instantly how happy you were. Why is that funny?
You know why you emphasize were.
Why is emphasis? Why is that funny?
I'm still deliriously happy.
And that's awesome. You deserve to be happy and loved. I love y'all's podcast. I've listened to every episode. This is your very, very best customer.
Thank you, because I'm telling y'all, those first few podcasts, and there's been some sandwiched in between, are not that great.
Well,
But you know what? Thank you.
Was Van Gogh's first painting that great?
Yes.
Was the Model T that great a car?
Yes.
Okay. I love y'all's podcast. I've listened to every episode, and I really wanted to go on your podcast family vacation this year, but financially it just wasn't in the cards. Hopefully next
year,
time.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you, Allen, how touched I am by your vulnerability and honesty. Oh, that's nice. I, too, struggle from depression, and it makes me aggravated that I know what I need to do to feel better, and some days, no matter how hard I try, it just overwhelms me. I don't take any medication for it, and some days it's just a dang struggle. All we can do is pray and trust God to help us overcome these demons. Not every day is sunshine and roses. You got that right, but it's okay. That's true too. I know it's harder for you because you're now in the public eye and you have to smile through it. But from the bottom of my heart, I want you to know I see you and you're an inspiration. Well, that's very sweet.
That's nice.
On the good and the bad days. I want y'all to know that listening to you communicate and be open and honest, funny, frustrated, and real is good for my soul. And I appreciate you both. God bless. Very nice. From Angie.
Thank you, Angie. That's very sweet.
Very sweet letter.
Well, real quick before we continue with more of these letters, because, we got a few more to get through. We got a lot of email. We appreciate it. If you ever want to contribute, you can always reach out to us on our social medias, but you can also email us at podcast@kellyandallen.com, KELLIE and ALLEN.com, podcast@kellyandallen.com. A lot of times I need to decompress. I got a lot going on. I've got to, but I just need a minute just to kind of give my brain a break. So it's always right there, my cell phone. We've always got it. It's practically fused to our hands, isn't it? But you can really quickly just pull out and play a little game of Best Fiends.
Best Fiends.
Yeah, it kind of lets lets the troubles melt away, but keeps your brain a little active. With Best Fiends, if I'm, waiting for my daughter who is, lingering and not getting to the car fast enough during carpool, pull out the phone, play a little Best Fiends. Waiting in the doctor's office, your appointment was at 2:00. It's still 2:30 and they have not seen you yet, but the time flies by because you're playing Best Fiends. What I love about Best Fiends is you can even play on the airplane when you're traveling because it does not require the internet to play. So that's great too. You don't have to pay for that extra Wi-Fi or whatever.
It's a big selling feature right there.
It is. Best Fiends, it's for adults, but really it's for any age group. Cute little bugs that have different weapons. It does take some strategy. Sometimes I'll get on a level, I'll be like, I can figure it out, and I can. You just have to figure out, which weapons to use, which ones to power up to defeat that slug and get to the next level. It's really fun, and you can play for as long as you like, and I just think it's fun. Alan has he's always encouraging me. Every time he sees me playing Best Fiends, what's your little cheer for me, babe?
Get it, babe. You kill them slugs.
That's right. That's my mission.
Engage your brain with fun puzzles and collect tons of cute characters. Trust us with over 100 million downloads. Wow. This 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must play. You can download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's Friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Yeah, Friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Best Fiends.
Go play. Go play.
Did I hear you say bugs with guns?
Not guns.
Oh, I thought you said there were bugs with guns.
They have different tools and weapons.
Oh, okay. Like a knife or
hard.
a rake?
No,
or...
it's like power. It's like power surges, and you can power up. You can level up and get more power to defeat the slugs.
Get them, babe.
Yeah, it's very exciting stuff.
Kill them slugs.
All right, I think I'm next.
Okay.
Hi, Kellie and Allen. I agree with Kellie. Of course, this is why I'm reading this one.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Kellie about cocky football players. I don't watch college football, but I feel like Dak Prescott handles himself with so much dignity, unlike some other professional quarterbacks. You go, Kellie, and go Cowboys this year. And that's from Monet.
That was in response to Kellie's really hot sports opinion.
Very hot. Oh, so hot.
That Joe Burrow was cocky. And then you started this big war between, we had a listener named Brooke, and she was a Clemson fan.
No, Carolina fan.
Or Carolina fan, sorry. And she called in saying that Burrow
nobody was cockier than the Clemson quarterback or something like that. Yeah.
And then I think we got another letter from
Brooke and I. We had words.
Yeah. Then we got another letter from a Clemson fan she was throwing shade on Brooke.
Yeah, that's right.
Boy, you started a war.
You started something, Brooke.
You're a divider, not a uniter, babe.
That's right.
What's the matter with you?
I do.
What's wrong with you? All right, here's another letter. Told you it was a mailbag tonight.
I know, we got a lot.
Oh, a lot of time.
I'm glad we're getting through it.
Okay, here's another one. This one's from Randy. She says, "Hey, Kellie and Allen. The reason I'm assuming it's Randy is because it's Randy with an I."
Well, that's typically a woman, yeah.
Yes. I wrote earlier this week about pet peeves. This was my first time ever writing a letter, knowing it might be read on the podcast, and I got to say, it was weird hearing my letter aloud.
Oh, now you're getting two read aloud.
Hope it didn't come off as angry or polarizing. I was laughing hearing y'all's pet peeves segment, and I thought I'd join the fun. I wanted to make sure to tell you all both how much joy the podcast brings to me. I recently heard one where I know it's Alan reading this, described Kellie falling on a wet marble floor as sounding like a steak slapping the floor. And
I could have died.
And I doubled over at work.
I could have died.
That was in Mexico.
It was in Mexico. It was a mess.
Kellie was buck naked. She slipped on the floor.
It was so
wet
bad.
Marble floor.
Next to the steps. I could have hit my head and died.
And her haunch hit that cold, wet marble floor, and it did.
It could have been a Dateline episode, because you would have been investigated for staging that.
Imagine taking a big, flat, defrosted steak out of your fridge and then throwing it up in the air like a frisbee, and then it hitting your floor. That's what it sounded like.
Bad.
I love Kellie's positivity and enthusiasm, meeting and interacting with listeners and, everyone. I have really enjoyed getting to know her differently through her podcast versus the nationally syndicated Kid Craddock Morning Show. She is a beautiful person, inside and out.
That's so nice.
What about Randy? Chopped
That's
liver?
so nice. Thank you, Randy.
Oh. Alan, you are the perfect you are the perfect match for Kelly. I love that you take such great care of her and your children. The episodes where you showed vulnerability. I must be a very vulnerable guy because this is the second one.
Right.
Talking about your family growing up or your struggles with depression were so raw and relatable, and I'm glad you shared. You're just awesome. You guys have provided me hours upon hours of entertainment, and I want you to know this listener is a diehard Sandwich and Some Lovin' fan.
Thank you.
Or maybe ASSL. Please enjoy that abbreviation. Love y'all, Randy.
Thank you, Randy. That's very, very nice.
I guess we could call it Assel, but Assel.
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 Well, we do ASL, a Sandwich and Some Lovin'.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying do ASSL. Assel. Get
Okay.
it? Get it? Assel.
I guess. Good morning, Alan and Kelly. Oh, they wrote this in the morning time. Alan and Kelly, longtime listener here. I wanted to tell you, if your listeners are trying to search for Fall of a Titan, it's now under lateral damage. The Fall of a Titan is the first season, so they can download the episodes from there. I don't know what they're talking about. What is Fall of a Titan?
Well, I've talked about that on 2 or 3 podcasts.
What is that? I forget. I tell you, my memory is shot.
I'm the one that can't remember.
Alan, you don't listen. That's different from not remembering.
Oh.
When I sit right here and say, I've got to go to the doctor, and you say 10 seconds later, you need to go to the doctor, that means you weren't listening. I don't remember what Fall of a Titan is.
That's the podcast about Steve McNair.
Oh, that's what it's called?
Fall of a Titan.
But it's now called Lateral Damage?
I guess, yeah. I found it through I can't say it. Fall of a Titan.
The Fall of a Titan is the first season, so they can download the episodes from there. Yeah. So maybe are they exploring
I don't know.
Other murders?
I need to
something?
research that. I just listened to like 8 episodes. The Fall of a Titan.
I forgot about it, so thanks for reminding me.
Oh, so one of our live studio audience members, Kara, says they do in fact have a second season. And it's called what?
The lateral damage.
Lateral damage.
Okay. Is it from the same murder? It's just showing what happened after the lives that have been affected after the fact.
I don't know.
That would be collateral damage, right? This is lateral damage. Okay. Kelly, what did I miss with the hair flip trick? I can't find it anywhere, and I've tried to Google it, so please fill us in on the podcast. All right, so this is on the Kid Craddock Morning Show.
Nationally syndicated.
What happened was our producer, Nick, he said, something's different. Does anybody notice anything different about me? I said, well, it looks like you had a haircut. And he said, that's true. He said, but have you noticed I changed the part in my hair? He has been going to get his hair cut for years and years and years, and he has this really bad cowlick. And he finally went to a new hairdresser. She said, well, have you ever thought about changing the part? He changed the part, solved the cowlick issue for him. And then I brought up the fact, I said, well, my hairdresser has always said every once in a while, you should change your part because it gives your part a rest. Because, I mean, I guess that constant separation there. But what happens as a result, it also makes your hair a lot fluffier. So when you change your part, you suddenly have all this great body.
That looks like Alicia Silverstone hair.
Mean, you've got to kind of work with it a little bit. I'm just doing it right now on the podcast for those watching on YouTube. But it just gives you suddenly all this body. Okay? So that's really all it is. It's not a huge secret. It was just change your part as a woman. According to my hairdresser, it gives your part a rest, but then you get extra body.
What if you have hair like a chia pet and you don't have a part?
Well, that doesn't apply to you. Okay, and so then she has part 3 of her letter.
Okay.
Also, some true crime podcast recommendations. Yes, I love true crime podcasts. Some of them I've been trying based on recommendations from listeners, based on recommendations from articles, and honestly, some of them I can't listen to.
Why?
It's either in the way they're delivered. I have to have it. Whoever's doing the narration, if it's not pleasing to my ear, I can't do it.
What's not pleasing to your ear?
Well, it's like just the way they read or deliver. There's one
someone
podcast,
with like a funny voice or something.
It's just the way they speak, the way they deliver it. I don't like it. And there's 2 people. One, it's a guy and a girl, and I don't remember I don't want to disparage anybody. I don't want to criticize because it might be your favorite podcast, but they laugh hysterically nonstop, no matter what he or she says it is the funniest thing you've ever heard in your life. And they're talking about murdered people.
I know people like that.
They're talking about murdered people.
So it's like nervous laughter.
No, they think everything they say is hysterical. And I tried, I gave it an episode and a half. I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. It was like nails on a chalkboard. So let me see what this letter's from Courtney, what she recommends. She says she loves Case File. She said the first few episodes are hard to understand due to his accent, but you get used to it. See, it's got to be pleasing to the ear, Courtney. And she said Sword and Scale, and True Crime Garage. Not True Crime Garage, but Ear Hustle goes inside and talks to men in prison, and Criminal. Those are short 20 to 30 minute episodes of random events. Okay, so I don't understand the way she's phrased that last sentence, but we've got Case File, Sword and Scale, True Crime Garage, Ear Hustle, and Criminal. That's 5. Thank you, Courtney. I'll have to check them out.
Good letter. Good recommendations.
Yeah. I love Dateline. Dateline ones are good. The only thing is they take them straight from the TV. So sometimes you can tell, like, if they're playing an interview from the interrogation room and it's kind of muffled, I know that on TV they've got subtitles so you can know what they're saying. So you kind of miss some of it there. But Dateline I love. I've been trying to listen to Crime Junkie. That's a real popular one too. It's one of the more popular ones. I kind of like that. I'm getting used to their delivery. It's 2 women and it's just, I don't know. It's like they'll be talking. The one woman says, so the one woman's reading and the other girl says, wait a minute, go back. I have a question about that. What do you think that means? And it's just like, I don't know. I have to get used to that. But
hey, some people might not like our delivery.
That's true. That's true.
And for that, I say,
give us another try.
Can't say it.
Well, they're not listening. But yeah, so I appreciate anybody give me podcast recommendations. Crime. I love that you listen into ours, but I like to hear the true crime ones. Those are good.
All right. Okay. Here's another letter. You want to keep going?
Yes. We've got a few more.
Yeah, we do. This one's from Alicia. She says, Dear Allen and Kelly. So I think I've heard Allen talk about this before, but what is up with people calling you boss? Alicia, no kidding.
Allen hates that.
I went to lunch with a friend today. No kidding. He called me boss.
Allen hates that.
Well, I don't know that I hate it.
You don't like that level of familiarity?
Yeah.
It's too casual?
Yeah. And I'm too old to be called boss by a dude who's like in his 20s. That's not what I call somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather him call me dude than boss. Because back in the day, I'd call everyone dude.
So it's the word boss you don't
like boss.
But dude, you don't mind.
Well, I'd rather be called sir at this point. But here's what she says. We go to a certain drive-thru on Sunday night after church, and the guy always calls my husband boss. It drives me nuts. What happened to sir?
That's what you just said.
I want to say, no, I'm not your boss, because if I were, you wouldn't be calling me boss, and you would learn how to speak properly to customers. Anyway, I listen to every podcast. I've been listening to the Kid Craddock Morning Show since I was in the 5th grade. I'm now 36. Love your show.
Wow.
Yeah, we've talked about being addressed before. Boss, man, dude, chief. I say dude? Yeah. Mac, senor.
Buster.
Hombre. There's a whole bunch of them. Yeah. The most common ones I get called are
whippersnapper.
No, I get called boss and man. Yeah. What's wrong with sir?
I don't know.
Either Alan, sir, or Mr. Evans.
Is it a millennial thing?
Yes.
Do you think?
Or when I'm in Mexico, I love it when they call me Senor Evans.
Yeah, you like Senor.
I love Senor
You like
Evans.
that.
Yes.
All right, Kelly and Allen, I wanted to ask your opinions about a controversial topic. Anytime my fiance and I go out for date night, we notice at least one table of same-siders. I'm not sure why we both find it so bizarre, but it fascinates us to see them and always have to comment to each other about it. A couple sitting both on one side of the booth and the other side is empty. I'm just curious how many people think this is weird versus how many people are Same ciders. Love you guys. That's from Jessica. Jessica, it's going to disappoint you to know this about Alan and myself, but every once in a while, we don't do it all the time.
No.
But we do it sometimes, and it depends on a few things. One of the things depends on the temperature in the restaurant. I like to be what, honey? What do I always like to be? It's very important to me.
Comfortable.
I like to be comfortable. If I am cold and I don't have a jacket, I like to sit next to my husband because he is warm and he kind of shields me from the draft or whatever. That's one reason we would sit next to each other. Another reason is if it's a really bad restaurant acoustically and you can't hear. We have been in restaurants where we will be sitting across from each other. We cannot hear each other speak because it's so loud from just the way the restaurant's designed, or if there's music playing or something. Those are like 2 occasions we would sit. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't do it as a typical thing, though. We do it sometimes.
Yeah, and the most common for me to go sit on Kelly's side would be because I let her walk in the restaurant first, as a man should. Woman walks in front of you, which means she gets the first pick of where to sit. And if it's a table like in the back of the restaurant, I don't like sitting with my back to the whole restaurant.
That's a man thing. I found that most men want to be able to see what's going on.
I want to be able to see what's going on. So
in case something goes down, that's what I've been told.
Exactly. In case something goes down and I need to get my piece. So if it's a booth and I'm in that situation, a lot of times I'll same side with Kelly.
Yeah. Sorry, you'd be like talking about us, Jessica.
Yeah, you would. You'd be judging and talking about us.
You would.
Like Kelly does swingers.
But we don't do it every time.
No.
But we do it.
We're not every time swingers.
Is that a Freudian slip?
We're not every well.
Are you hoping I'll change my mind?
You said you were open to the...
I never
You
said
did.
I was
You said you were open
that.
to the pole thing and with cages
No,
and stuff.
I said I have danced in a cage at a nightclub as a young person, new to the club scene, down at Myrtle Beach. What was that place called? The Brigadoon? No, that's not right. I'll think of it. It's like the Flying something. It was a pirate ship name. Give me a pirate ship name. The Matador?
Babe,
no, that's not right.
I've got nothing.
But they had cages that you could get up in, and I don't know why. Maybe they were supposed to resemble pirate cages or something. What was that place called? Anyway.
Okay, here's a serious letter. You're going to need to get out your thinking cap on this one.
Oh.
She needs some advice.
Okay.
Hola, Kellie and Allen. This is a very personal subject, and I truly value both of your opinions. I have no one to truly share this with, as anyone close to me always roll their eyes or tell me you're going to change your mind.
Okay.
I'm turning 30 this year, single, no kids. I have a career I love, pays me well, and I would describe my life as fulfilled. But the more I live life and think about my future, the more I think I want to be that cool aunt who never got married, never had kids, but happily traveled the world, loved her family well, and was able to help change people's lives for the better. Here's my dilemma. I am very, very, very unsure about having kids. One of my potential relationships ended recently due to this. After my last relationship ended last year, I decided to look into the possibility of freezing my eggs. I knew that I wanted to take at least a year to heal my heart and find my peace. But I wanted to be proactive, but the more I enjoyed being single, finding my passion and calling, the more satisfying idea of being single and not having any kids sounded really good to me. So here's my question. Alan, how did you know you wanted to have kids? I always meet men who are so sure, but I never get a real answer as to pass on the genes or who's going to take care of you when you're old. Kelly, moms that I talk to about this topic always share with me that they've always known they wanted to be mothers, but is that a natural feeling? Is it a maternal instinct I wasn't born with? It's a huge responsibility. Everything changes, not only your body, but your whole entire life forever. I'm highly confused, and I try to have this conversation with my mother. It always leads to an argument. I'd even be open to dating and potentially marrying a man with kids from a previous marriage. I just don't know if motherhood is calling, and I'm not sure if I'm afraid of the unknown or afraid of missing out on what some people refer to as the biggest blessing ever. I love you both so much. You two are wonderful parents. You seem to love each other in a very genuine way. So any type of advice or feedback would be very, very, very appreciated.
Not everybody has that burning desire to be a mother. And some people I know have gone through life, they're married, and they are completely blissfully okay. They knew it wasn't for them, and they've had a very wonderful, fulfilled life, just like you're having. But if you're really not sure, I love the option of freezing your eggs because it is an option. And then if you finally get to a point in your life where you're just like, I know I don't want to have kids, you can donate those eggs to a couple who's struggling with fertility issues. There's things that can happen. Or you can always adopt as well. There's so many children that need a loving home that you could provide if that does one day become your heart's desire. It's not fair for people to tell you what you will or won't feel. That's not fair. But that's just human nature. We all think, well, why wouldn't you want? I mean, it's just a natural thing. For me, it was a burning desire to be a mom, to have that experience, to go through, a pregnancy. And I just knew. So that was for me. But if that's not true for you, that's okay. I know several people who don't have children and they are completely fulfilled. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, I've read some studies where they ask women who've had children if, and it's completely anonymous, if you could go back and not have children. The percentage is really high from women who say, if I'd have known if I'd known then what I know now, I would not have had children. So there's that boat too, that people, but it's, a lot of women don't want to talk about that because that makes you a horrible human being. But motherhood is hard. Parenthood is hard. Fatherhood it's hard. And when it's not going great, it's really not great. And, so there are some beautiful highs, but there are some low lows. And not realizing, not having a child is not the worst thing that you can do, even though your mother's going to tell you it is. Because your mother's going to tell you that it is. But don't do it. I mean, who are you satisfying if you're the one that has to live with that decision?
It's your life.
Yeah. But it doesn't make you a horrible human being. It really doesn't.
I don't think it does either. So she asked me, babe, how did you know you wanted to have kids? I'll tell you what, you may be surprised to learn that, I'm in my late 40s now, but when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, I really had a hard time. As you mentioned, some of the guys that you've talked to, I also had a hard time kind of coming to terms with, when do I want to have kids?
Because of the responsibility?
I just wasn't, I don't even know if there's like one reason other than I just didn't feel ready, But if I knew then what I know now, and I had the maturity and the wisdom then that I have now, I would have had them earlier. Mm-hmm. We didn't have our first until I was 34. So I was a little bit older. And then we didn't have the last until I was 40, So
I had my first.
Yeah.
when I was 39, almost 40. So, but I had fertility issues, so I really had to struggle for that.
But we had them later, and that's for a number of different reasons. But I guess I wish sometimes I had them earlier. Sometimes it feels kind of weird to be the oldest dad or oldest.
But it's becoming more and more common because more people are putting off,
right?
For whatever reason.
But
don't feel like feel like a horrible person, like something's wrong with you. It's not for everybody.
No. But I tell you what, like Kelly said, it's the greatest feeling in the world to me to have children sometimes, but then sometimes it is the hardest thing you could ever do.
Yeah.
The hardest thing to ever do.
Yeah.
So it's definitely life-changing, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. For better or for worse.
Yep.
In sickness and in health. That should be the vow you take as a parent, right?
That's right.
All right. So I've got more, real quick. Only because I should have done this I didn't read ahead. Alan wanted me to be surprised with these letters. I would have gone ahead and done this one back to back with the last one because it's got more podcast recommendations. Longtime listener, first time writer.
You can switch the
Well, but I thought I'd just do back to back.
That's fine. Yeah. It's up to you, babe.
I've been through some difficult times personally the past few years. Listening to your podcast has been that bright spot in my day where I can just forget about things for a while. Thank you. Thank you, Amy, who's writing this. I'm writing in as a fellow lover of true crime podcasts to give you a list of some of my favorites. Real Crime Profile, hosted by a former prosecutor who later was an FBI profiler, a former Scotland Yard investigator who later worked with the FBI, and the casting director for Criminal Minds. They go over very famous cases and profile them. Real Crime Profile. The next one, Dr. Death. I did listen to Dr. Death already. I'll be honest, Dr. Death was not my favorite. I liked Dr. Death's first episode, and then it lost me after that. But I liked the first episode of Dr. Death. Have they done a second round, or was it still the guy that did the spine surgeries? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but
Up and Vanished. I did listen to Up and Vanished. I think that's one. Hitman. I have not listened to Hitman. Detective Trap. Not familiar. So thank you, Amy Z. You did give me a couple of new ones there. I want you to check them out. Enjoy them as much as I do. Thank you again for all that you two do. And she said we can use her real name, Amy.
Oh, very helpful listeners.
Yeah, and then somebody gave me a crock pot recipe.
Hey, I tell you what. Why don't you do that?
You mean give the crock pot recipe?
Yeah, it's
easy.
short and easy, and then I'll do mine because that'll segue you into bringing it home for Jerome.
Okay. A little late with the crock pot recipe, yes, because I asked for these a long time ago. And now let me tell you what I've done. I've gone and bought an Instant Pot, and I'm scared to use it. I haven't used it yet. But I was watching that chef on YouTube, and he said the same thing. He said it sat there 6 months before he got the nerve to use it.
Ours has sat there for a while.
I can't. I'm scared.
The thing's sucking up a lot of counter space,
I know,
too.
it's huge. I had to buy the jumbo one, and it's just sitting there.
It looks like the lunar lander that they landed, the Apollo that they landed on the moon.
It's bad.
That's what it looks like.
It's taking up
this
half a counter.
Big silver triangular dome looking thing.
And I'm not using it. I've got to use this thing. You know, one of the things that makes me scared to use it is cleaning it. It looks like a pain in the butt to clean.
Oh, if it's anything like that rotisserie we have, I'm sure it is a pain in the butt.
Yeah, we need to get rid of that
clean.
rotisserie.
No, keeping the rotisserie.
And then we'd have room to put the Instant Pot.
Nope, I'm keeping the rotisserie.
Okay, this is from Wendy Wilson. She said, real easy, brown some hamburger meat. You can put it in the crock pot raw, but I prefer to brown it. Add a can of drained pinto beans. Use whatever ratio you want of each. I like that. Just whatever you feel like, Wendy. Cover the meat and beans with salsa. I use Pace mild salsa. Cook all day on low or on high for a couple hours. Garnish with shredded cheese. Serve with tortilla or chips. Done.
Look at there.
Salsa, beans, and meat.
We give life advice. We give podcast advice. We give recipes.
Tips on swinging.
Yes.
It's a running theme. I hope we can put, no pun intended, the swinger subject to bed for a while. I have a feeling it'll come up again soon, though.
And that's fine. I'm
glad that swingers feel comfortable listening to a sandwich and some lemon.
There's no judgment here.
I'll take everybody listening.
No judgment from me.
You want to be invited to one of the parties so you can do some investigative reporting? The thing is, you can't. You have to have a woman with you.
I could do a little spelunking.
You'd have to have a woman with you, and I'm not going.
I might do a little investigating.
You ain't going with me.
Okay, here's one more. We actually have more, but we're gonna have to save them.
We got through a lot tonight.
Yeah, because this is a good one, and this will kind of, like I said, segue into bringing it home for Jerome.
Okay.
This one's from Megan. She says, when did she send us this? Oh yeah, this is okay. She sent us this a while back. She says, "Happy New Year, Kellie and Allen." Well, it's still early in the year. Let me start off by saying I love listening to you both so much, and I literally LOL every episode.
Thank you.
I've been listening since the very beginning, and you guys just keep getting better and really makes me feel like y'all are so relatable. Very best customer. My question is more of a recommendation request. My husband and I are celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary this year and really want to take a special trip as we didn't get a big honeymoon. I know y'all travel a lot and have done several trips to Mexico, so I wanted your opinion on which all-inclusive resorts you both liked and if you felt safe traveling there. I'm also open to other cities you recommend going to. It has to be in the U.S. or Mexico, as we live in Texas, and I won't live God's country, Texas, and I won't leave our two little ones for more than a couple of days. Okay? Thanks for any suggestions you have. Keep doing what y'all are doing, and many blessings for your family in 2020. Love y'all desperately.
Easy, and it also gives us a chance to talk about our upcoming podcast family vacation. Alan and I, when we got married, we went to a brand new, at the time, that we got married in 2017. At that point, it had only been open less than, 6 months maybe. It was a resort called Unico, UNICO, and it was about 30, 45 minutes drive from the Cancun airport, right? Would you say that?
It was further than
so
Valentin.
About 45 minutes, maybe 45 to an hour.
Yeah.
It was really nice. And actually, we went on our honeymoon and went back with the Kid Craddock morning show. Lovely.
Very
really
romantic.
Enjoyed it. It was very romantic.
Brand new.
Not much of a beach situation. That's the only thing Alan and I noticed. It had not a big shoreline. So if you we went to the beach once, and it was such a steep drop to the beach that we sat down with our drinks, they immediately fell over. And we were just like, so we spent the majority of the time in the pool there.
Beautiful, huge pools.
Beautiful pools. We really enjoyed our stay there.
Always something going on too. Remember they had the little shot cart going
every
around?
Day. It was a lot of fun.
They had they did the hats for us.
Yeah.
They painted the hats.
When you get there, in your room, there was a sombrero and a Panama hat. Like, not a sombrero, like I shouldn't say
like
that.
a sun hat?
It was like a sun hat for a woman. It wasn't a sombrero. But and then a Panama hat, but they're made out of straw. And then they have a man there by the pool that paints them for you, whatever you want. And at the time we went, not all the amenities were even open yet. So they didn't have really a nightclub scene yet, but I'm sure that's all been added. It's been a couple years.
There's hardly anyone there when we went.
Right. But I'm sure that's completely changed. Now, then we went back the following year. We asked our travel agent, we were like, we just want to try something different. And we still like the all-inclusives, which really you can only get in Mexico. In the United States, if you can find one, it's going to be outrageously expensive. But in Mexico, that's where you go for those. And we like that. And we also like all adult. Because, if I want to take my kids on vacation, that's another thing.
Take them to Disney World.
But if I'm not taking kids with me, I don't want to be around other people's kids. It's just I don't. It's not that I don't like kids.
No,
but
you're
on a vacation to get away from my kids.
But you're half nude in a swim up bar, and you're making toast to love and affection
with bad influence, Jeff.
Right.
So anyway, she recommended a club at a hotel that we love called Valentin Imperial. It's like Valentine without the E, Valentin Imperial. And she said that everybody that she knows who is a chef loves this place because the food is so good. They have lots of restaurants. They have big pools, a lazy river pool. We still have not made it.
And these are nice restaurants.
Very
a French
nice
restaurant, like a Benihana style, a hibachi, an Italian,
seafood, steakhouse.
Mexican, of course, a steakhouse. Yeah, really nice.
Really nice. And a great beach scene.
Really nice beach.
There is a seaweed issue from time to time.
Well, there
in
was
Mexico.
last year, but
from time to time, it depends on when you go. If you have to deal with seaweed, but it wasn't that horrible, and we spent the most of the time in the pool there too, just because that's where our family vacationers, our podcast family, wanted to be.
Beautiful grounds, like really lush, beautiful grounds. Huge resort, the Valentin Imperial.
So if we had to choose between the two, I would probably say go to Valentin Imperial. There is a Facebook group for people who have gone there 10, 15 years in a row. They love it so much.
This will be our third in a row.
We love it.
We went the first year by ourselves, and then last year we went with our podcast family. We had about 40 people there. And then this year, 2020, we're offering that vacation again.
Yeah.
You want to tell them about that?
Yeah, you can go to kellyandallen.com.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a slash for
/
it?
vacation.
/ vacation. kellyandallen.com / vacation. There's a form there that you can fill out, but basically it's just so you can get information about the vacation this year. The package that our travel agent Judy came up with has from July 7th through the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And you can play with that a little bit if you want to. Alan and I are probably going to go in on the 6th, but the package that she has advertises for the 7th through the 11th, and it's all inclusive. It includes the transfer to the airport, to the hotel, and back again. And as the lady was saying, do you feel safe there? Yes. We feel completely safe there. We stay on the property. They do have people that go out and do excursions. We are not those people. We stay on the property. It's just what I wanted. That's why I'm there. I want to enjoy the amenities. I've paid to be there. I want to eat the food there. I want to drink all the booze there and do all the things there because I've already paid for it.
I've been to Mexico many, many times. I've never felt unsafe.
Right.
We use either a private driver that we know, or we use one of the big companies that takes you from the airport to the hotel and from the hotel back to the airport.
Prearrange that.
Prearranged travel.
When you land in Mexico, when you're heading out to the transportation area, you're going to have 100 people coming at you, trying to get your attention, trying to get you to ride their taxis or whatever. You're going to feel like the rudest human being in the world. Just keep walking until you get to your arranged car, who will have a sign out there for you. That's the one part I don't like about landing at the Cancun airport, is having to face that wall of people getting out to your ride.
Yeah.
But you have that prearranged. It's not an issue.
Right. But as far as the safety issue, we like to go from the airport to the hotel, stay at the hotel, and then go back to the airport.
Yeah,
now,
completely safe.
If you go off campus, I don't know anything about that.
I don't either.
I mean, if you decide to go away from the resort and go somewhere via taxi, or go to some kind of nightclub or something like that's off the resort, that ain't me. And I've heard stories of bad stuff happening. I don't know if they're true or not.
Well, I guess it depends on how deep you go.
Yeah.
I mean, some people want to go. I want to go if I'm in a foreign country. I want to, see all the, cultural things. That's just not us. Now, we have done excursions, but we do it with the hotel. You do the ones that the hotel
and we're in a big
puts
group
together.
Of people.
Yeah, that's what we have done, and I've never had a problem with that. But I wouldn't, just go to somebody on the side of the street and say, "Take me, to the Tulum or something." I wouldn't do that.
You just got to use, it's like anything else. You got to use your common sense. But we like staying at the resort because the Valentin's beautiful. They got good cocktails, a beautiful property with an awesome pool, awesome
and everybody's
beach.
So happy to be there.
Yeah.
So you make friends at the pool.
Yeah.
So anyway, we like that a lot. And if you can work it out and go with us to the podcast family vacation, that'd be awesome. So just go to kellyanallen.com/vacation. You can find out more about the trip. Judy was able to keep the costs down. So this year, the trip literally costs $15 more than last year.
For the whole week.
For the whole package.
It's basically the same price.
Basically the same price. It's $15 more.
But if you do go, what we found is we've made a lot of new friends, and we keep in touch with them now, and we actually see them a lot. Except for some, like our friends in Kansas, we don't get to see them, but we keep in touch via text and on social media, and hopefully we'll see them again. But it's been fun making new friends like that. And hey, they got the bat phone. They want to call Kelly Raspberry, go to happy hour. They just dial her up or text her.
That's right. I'll put on a bra and go.
You too can have the bat phone if you come make friends with us on the family vacation.
So yeah, there. Hopefully that helped you with that. But that's, if you want to stay in the United States, I mean, I don't know where to tell you to go, honestly. And we have a friend that has a rental house in Galveston. If you want to go there, we can give you his information. We love that house, and it's beautiful. It's about a 5-hour drive from, for us, from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But there's that option. Otherwise, go to Mexico. And real quick, this is your last chance to get on the $1,500 giveaway we have to Living Spaces. My husband's he's not listening to me, people. He's not listening to me. Living Spaces. They're located in Grand Prairie, Texas. They do have other places around the country, but they also you can shop online with livingspaces.com, but they have graciously given us $1,500. So what we're doing is asking you to tell us in 100 words or less how you would use $1,500 to spice up your bedroom or spice up your home, just, something, make it interesting, entertain us. 100 words or less. You can do it. I know you can. And just send that to podcast@kellyandallen.com. The deadline to enter is 10 p.m. Central Time on February the 9th of 2020. The winning entry will be announced on the Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast on February 11th, 2020. So it's coming up, running out of time. If you're listening to this podcast delayed, I'm sorry you missed this giveaway, but hopefully we'll be having more great things to give you because we love giving you stuff.
That's the biggest prize we've given away.
Yeah, $1,500.
I'm telling you, someday, babe, we're going to be giving away vacations, freaking Bugattis.
Well, wow, that'd be nice. But go to our Instagram. If you didn't catch any of that, there's a picture of a bedroom set, which is actually worth $1,500 from Living Spaces. So you can get an idea of where that money could go. And it'll give you, again, the rules on that. Thanks, Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
All right.
I think I do it better than Al. I heard him saying it
He
this
tried,
morning.
yeah. He
But
tried.
he does sleep experts.
That's his bit.
He does that pretty good.
That's his bit.
Yeah. All right, babe. Well, this was fun.
It was fun.
It was good going through the mailbag. See,
I feel connected.
You know, I feel so bad though, because a lot of these people sent these letters. Some of them have been in there since like early January, and I'll flag them, and then I just forget about it. I'm like,
I know.
So I was going through my email the other day. I went through like 500 emails, and I told Kelly, I said, we have a lot of letters. We have got to go through these. So that was fun to do that. I'm glad we did it.
Hopefully, it gave me some great information about podcasts. Gave Alan more information about swinging. And we also learned about eunuchs. What more can you get from a podcast?
It's a good way to end it right there.
Yeah.
I love you desperately.
I love you.
I love our listeners desperately.
Of course we do.
I love Mexico and the Valentin Imperial desperately.
Mm-hmm. Hope a lot of people go with us for our family vacation in July.
I love learning about swinging desperately.
I know.
But I'm sure we'll podcast again real soon.
All right.
And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.